Hi Prenda Guides, this is Katie and today we're going to do an overview of LightSail. LightSail is a new online tool that Prenda is rolling out. This is a tool aimed at helping kids develop their reading comprehension. We're really excited about it. You can use this for 3rd through 8th graders, and it's to go along with or to replace Newsela. If you love Newsela, you can still use it. If you don't love Newsela, you can totally switch over to LightSail. So to get started, go to reader.lightsail.com and you'll get a screen like this. We will make you an account, and then once we've made you an account, you can come and sign in with your username, which is just your email, and your password will be Prenda with a lowercase p. Then you can sign in, and once you sign in for the first time, you can go ahead and change your password, and you will come to a screen like this. So we have created a class for each of you already, and you will select that class by coming to this drop down, and then, click, you'll see your name in these fields right here. So select your name. That's the name of your class, is your name, your first and last name. So then click load roster, and you will get no students. This is just a test guy in here, so ignore him. And once you do that, you can click add student. You're going to add one student. You're going to click create student ID. You do not need to keep track of this number. It's just a number for LightSail to track the students' data throughout their time in LightSail. You do not need to record it. Remember it, you'll never see it again. So put in their first name, their last name, their email. I know it says it's optional, but it's not optional. Put their email in. Click this button that says set email as username. And then click this button down here that says Google single sign-on. That's what that means. So instead of, when they come to this page, reader.lightsail.com, they will just click the Google sign-on, and they can log in with their Gmail account, and you won't have to make them a username or password. But if you do need to make someone a username and password, say you have an advanced 2nd grader who's not really using his Gmail account, and you want to do a username and password for someone, you totally have that option. Do their grade. Let's see, scroll down here, pick their grade. Then select your class. You'll see your name here. Like that. And then click save. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do is click on your student. You might have to do this drop down and select and click load roster again. I'm not sure if your students will automatically pop up here or if you'll have to do that process again, but you can just refresh it like that. Click on edit. For each student, you're going to want to click on parent portal, add new user, and then put their parents' email address in here. This will allow their parents to log in and view everything that their child is reading. The one catch here is that only one email can be linked to one student. So if a mom has 3 kids in Prenda using LightSail, she has to use 3 different email addresses to track each child. So like you could use mom's for one, dad's for one, a secondary email for the other one, which is kind of a pain. I don't know why they have that limitation, but they do. So 1 email per kid. And then I'll show you a little bit of your teacher dashboard. Click up here and you should see your class. And we're going to change one setting real quick while we're in here. And then I'll show you around a little bit. You're going to click on class settings. And then you're going to click on Leaderboard right here. And then, let's see, I have to select this class. Okay, so it says that the leaderboard is active, and what the leaderboard is on the students' homepage when they log in, it kind of shows everybody's LightSails and how much everyone's reading and kind of turns it into a competition, which can be fun for some kids, but for the Prenda culture, we kind of don't want kids comparing themselves. We want them working together or independently. So you're just going to turn this off for the whole class. You can also turn it on and off. You'll see all of your students here after you add them. You can turn it on and off per kid. Like if you want to, if 2 of your kids want to have like a temporary competition to see who can read the most, whatever, you can turn it on for them and only they'll be included. But we highly recommend just turning that off. Okay, so click here again, and let's see. If you want to browse all of the books in the LightSail library, you can do that here. you want to change, go back to that screen where we were building your class, you can click on rosters. That will bring you back to the add students page when it's done loading. So that's how to get back to this page where you add your class and your students. Class progress is a way for you to track how your class is doing, like how many books they've read total, how many power texts they've read. I'll explain that in a minute. What their LightSail is, I'll talk about that in a minute too. You can make class goals, like how many books do we want to read this week, and then you can track that goal here. It's super fun. And then reports, you can look at everybody's data, and we did class settings, so that should do it for in here. You click on dashboard. This is kind of like your home page, and right now it just shows recommended texts, but once you have kids in here, it'll change a little bit different. Let's switch over now and show you what the student view looks like. So to log a student in, you create their account on your teacher backend, and then you bring the student to reader.lightsail.com. You'll want to bookmark that for them. Put in their, actually they'll probably click Google sign on right here, and it'll just log them in. But for this guy, we're going to do a username and password. Click log in. So this is what the student homepage looks like. And the first thing it asks them to do is to complete the power challenge. This is how it assesses something called their LightSail, and that's kind of like the level of difficulty that they're able to read. So this is a little assessment that helps LightSail figure out what level of reading it should present to them. Because the whole goal of LightSail is to help kids read texts that are perfectly aligned to their reading level. So they're just like slightly harder, or they're just in a good ballpark for them. So they're not reading stuff that's super overwhelming and difficult and getting frustrated, but they're not wasting their time reading stuff that's super easy. It just keeps them in this nice little Goldilocks zone of pushing them forward gradually. So they're going to get a bunch of questions like this. They read the paragraph, then they read this line here, and there's a blank. And over here, they just pick a word that they think answers that question. I'm just going to pick a random one and click submit, and then they get another one. So they go through all these questions, and then it'll say, congratulations, you're done. And then they'll log in again, and they will then, on their dashboard, when they log in, instead of the power challenge, it will look like this with books. But in the corner of each little book picture, there will be a lightning bolt. A lightning bolt is a power text, and that means that's one of those texts that is perfectly aligned for them. They don't have to pick a lightning bolt book. They can pick other books from the library, but we highly recommend that they stick to the lightning bolt books, because that's how they're going to increase their LightSail range, which will help their reading comprehension. Once James B here finishes the power challenge, this little circle here will turn into a number like 520 or 780, whatever his LightSail range is. So he always kind of knows where he's at and has a goal probably to move forward. LightSail assesses the LightSail range. They're always doing those little fill in the blank things that are called close tasks, but they only assess the LightSail range every 2 weeks, and they do it on the 15th of the month and the 30th of the month. So that's the opportunity that the students have to be reassessed and to jump up in LightSail. So it's not going to change their LightSail number from day to day. It's only in those 2 week increments that they will see progress. And in order for them to be reassessed, they have to have at least completed 20 of those fill in the blank things throughout all of their reading time. A suggested starting goal for LightSail would be like 15 or 20 minutes during conquer time to pick one of these lightning bolt texts and to read through it and do those closed tasks. And that should get them their 20 closed tasks in that 2 weeks if they're doing that. So it shouldn't be a problem. Let's see. Oh, one thing here is that if you're logged in as a student, it's keeping track of how many minutes they're reading. So if they click out, like I've already clicked out, see it's logged James Bond out. Here he has to log in again. So they can't just like log in and then go do something else on the internet and then come back. It will log them out immediately, and it does not count as active reading time for them. So it's tracking their minutes, it's tracking their LightSail, how difficult the task is, and it's tracking their accuracy in those closed things. So it does vocabulary as well. So we're super excited about this tool. Let us know what you think about it. Let us know if any situations come up that you need help with. They have a really good tech support line that's up here. If you just click here, you can chat with them. If they're online, then they're really responsive. And if not, you'll have an email for sure the next day in your inbox. They're really, really helpful. So reach out to them, reach out to us, and hopefully this has helped you and given you enough information to get started. Thanks.